that was weird. I do not know what happened to that, but that intro was a little bit jumpy. Anyway, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the World of Football podcast live on the Dugout Football channel. And what a week it has been yet again in the footballing world. We are here to digest, to discuss, and react to all of our teams this weekend. But as always, joining us is the lovely panel, as always. Josh, how are you, Josh? You all right?
I'm good. Look, Chelsea winning 4-0 against Burnley. I thought if you told me that game was going to be 4-0 at half time, I probably would have threw out a window and buried you alive.
Yeah, that's true. We got Nathan as well, and what a result for Cardiff, going down to QPR and winning 2-1.
Yeah, absolutely superb. Thanks for having me on as usual, Doug. Yeah, two of our 19-year-olds, Isaac Davis and Ruben Colwill. Oh, what a free kick that was. But you can never be positive as a Cardiff fan at the moment. 3 court cases impending. The announcement of £109 million in debt. Got a long run to go, haven't we, guys? Thanks for having me on as usual. And reform the EFL.
Yeah, we will be getting on to the EFL. Don't worry about that. He may not be with us in person, but he is still in the office. God bless him. Reece, thank you for joining us. How are you, mate?
Thanks a million for having me. Yeah, the office is pitch black because the lights are off, but that's not going to stop me because, frankly, what can, not even death can stop me. Cheers for having me.
A pleasure. And of course, we'll probably get a rant from him at some point of Manchester United's dreadful performance against Manchester City. It is the lovely George Kyle. How are you, George?
Yes, thank you as always for having me, Doug. Good to be back on as always. But incredibly disappointing result, if not totally surprising against Man City. So yeah, looking forward to getting into it.
That's good. Let's say hello to a few people because I've just seen Josh's comment. Heyo! Hello, good evening, Pete Shepherd. He'll be very, very pleased, won't he? Welcome to the stream, my friend. Josh Kelso, hello to everyone. Napoon is in. Thank you for tuning in, Napoon. Chris Welsh. So United with a shit week then. Well, we will get on to it. Evening panel in chat. Jade Exley, thank you for tuning in as always. Yes. We will start. City thrash United. It was 4-1. And at one point in the second half, it was 92% possession to Manchester United's 8% possession. Josh. Men against boys, wasn't it?
It was a show for Manchester United, I think. I thought Manchester United the first half, did okay. I think they were causing Manchester City a few problems, but the second half, I don't know if Randwick changed the tactics in the wrong way, or if this is what the mentality of Manchester United now is, where they can't get up for a fight, they can't get up for a gritty, nitty fight, because Manchester United kind of, especially mentally, kind of just collapsed in that second half. They did nothing, and Manchester City really had a field goal, like a training game and you'd expect much more in a Manchester derby. I know there were some excuses that Manchester United were missing key players, especially in attack, or missing Varane too. Because if you look at United's record without Varane, it's not very appealing. I'm sure George will talk about that. But I do think it was just. I do think Man United just seemed like they just weren't up for the fight. They weren't up for having to sit deep, defend, and try and get a result. They kind of just let Man City kind of walk through them too easily. Maguire, Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka, and Telles. Maguire's been shocking. Telles can't defend. Wan-Bissaka's been awful this season, and Lindelof, I think's been okay. He was when your whole back four playing bad. It's hard to have a good game. So it was a shit show from Manchester United from start to finish. I don't really understand the whole 4-2-2 deciding to play Pogba and Fernandes as your strikers. I think that was a bit questionable from Randwick, especially when you're going to have to try and counter-attack. Leaving Rashford on the bench, even in his bad form in this game, didn't really make much sense. I think Randwick's tactics were slightly wrong, though he was limited to what he could pick, in fairness. But I do think the mentality of the players were bad. They kind of gave up, they caved in. And I think the most worrying thing for Manchester United is that defense. It's just other than Varane, there's nothing back there that you could look at and have much confidence in going forward. And it means looking at the summer here, there's a lot of positions that Manchester United need to buy. And considering with a new manager coming in, I think this will be the fourth rebuild in 10 years or something like that. They're going to have to do. It's a continuous circle going. But as I said, the results at Chelsea, so I don't know why I'm saying all this. So, Chelsea third place position looks even more wild.
Yeah, it does. Nathan, absolutely shocker from start to finish for Manchester United. Obviously, I know they got to 1-1 at one point as well, and City went ahead again with De Bruyne. But that second half performance, if you're a United fan, you must be worried big time.
Oh, absolutely. I would 100% be if I was a Man United fan. In fact, concerned. And to be honest, looking at it from a neutral perspective, with some Man United fans, I don't understand. I mean, you two, I can imagine how disgusted you were after you guys saw that. But looking from a number of Man United fans from the side of it, they just sort of shrugging their shoulders at it and saying, "Oh, that was a bad performance." I would be utterly disgusted if I was a Man United fan. You just got absolutely humiliated by your local rivals who have been outshining you for the last 10 years. I mean, looking at that defence, though, Maguire, he was at fault for 2/3 of the goals, getting nutmegged before the third as well. Complete and utter shambles. Lindelof was horrific as well. Portelles and Wan-Bissaka, they were just drawn into poor performance, weren't they? McFred, shambles. If you look at that, the defence and then the back line of that defensive midfield and compare it to Man City's team, there's no competition there. And I was lost for words after I saw those goals yesterday. And quite frankly, disgraceful performance. But looking at Man City, yes, they grinded that out. Cancelo very unlucky not to get that absolute worldie. What a save that was in the end. But at the end of the day, very, very concerning if you're a Man United fan there.
Yeah, Reece, is there any Man United players get pass marks for that game yesterday?
Just the goalkeeper and Jadon Sancho. Maybe Alanga because he actually put in a bit of work, but other than that, not many else can be mentioned. I thought, I'm going to say this as well, might sound a bit controversial, but yes, City battered us, but City were also very boring yesterday. Like they were in the second half, the game's already wrapped up. All they did in the second half was like playing against some little clown on FIFA. It was just passing back in your own half, doing nothing. I mean, obviously the game was already over, but for fuck's sake, you've got all that quality. If you're going to go and batter us even more, go and get on with it. It was just boring in the very end. I was like, you've already won the game, but just passing about in your own half. I mean, it just sums up, But we got played off the park. They're the only three players I'm going to give any credit to. Fuck the rest of them. They were all shit.
Yeah. I think it's time to get the popcorn, George. Time to have your say, my friend.
You can have it. I don't have the energy to talk about them.
Yeah. It's incredibly dispiriting once again. The one thing I would say is that it's happened far too often over the last, as Josh has sort of alluded to, there's been multiple rebuilds over the last almost obviously 10 years since Sir Alex now. And what was struck me was the lack of improvement, the continuous crap that we offer that gets served up every single time against rivals. It's just utterly humiliating and embarrassing, and yet there never seems to be any sort of repercussions for it whatsoever. There never seems to be any sort of strict changes or new measures implemented. We still get the same poor mentality. Obviously, the mentality was absolutely shocking, especially in that second half. But it's also the quality of players that we get. It doesn't seem to matter how much money also is thrown at the problem, because as we know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got more money spent on him than any other manager in the Premier League during his tenure here. So it doesn't even matter how much money spent on it. It's obviously wasted, and ultimately, I was going to swear there, but ultimately,
by all means, just say it as it is.
But ultimately, just pissed up the wall. completely. Waste of money here, there, and everywhere. In terms of squad value, not only that, but also paying players exorbitant wages. In most industries, you'll have people who are genuinely commensurately paid for what their skill set is. But at Man United, obviously, we're paying players who are nowhere near good enough, more than players at top teams who are actually winning silverware, which is absolutely ludicrous. But yeah, those are sort of the general problems. But getting into the actual match, I thought I can't really give any credit to any of the players, to be honest with you. I think with regards to the defence, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, what you do expect from him, although he is limited going forward, you expect him to be good at tackling. You expect him to be good defensively. That has been sort of his saving grace in previous times. He's often, to be honest with you, he's often had sterling performances against Man City, but especially against Sterling himself. When he's played, and he's often, been quite influential in terms of our defensive structure. But it seemed to me that, especially in that second half, he seemed to have completely given up and look, totally lost. Alex Telles probably had his worst game in a Man United shirt. Was all over the shop on specific a few of those goals. Obviously, the first goal, caught ball watching, nowhere close. Just lunging in, sliding all over the place terribly. And obviously on that fourth goal, one of the shittest offside traps that you're ever likely to see. That he just ultimately.
Oh, it was so bad.
He just thought, he was like, oh Christ, at the extremely last moment, and didn't have enough time to actually step up against Mahrez. Absolute shit from him. And then Victor Lindelof all over the shop again.
I felt sorry for him. I felt sorry of all those players in that defence. I felt sorry for him the most.
It seems to me, though, on that front. So my prediction for the score when I saw the teams coming out was 3-1 to Man City. So I was quite close on that, obviously, until that final. I thought I'd got the score right until obviously fucking Telles decided to step up at the speed of a fucking tortoise. Because obviously, as obviously Josh pointed out as well in his analysis, when Varane plays, we don't tend to concede that many. But obviously, when Lindelof and Maguire play together, that's when the fucking floodgates open, and we concede most of the time. We concede at least 2 goals. And that's why I went obviously with 3-1, because City have got obviously the talent, as we know, to score multiple goals. Because just with those two together, are an absolute fucking disaster. And then Maguire was again like fucking Bambi on ice, slipping absolutely everywhere all the time on every single one of those goals. First goal, stock still as the ball rolls across to De Bruyne, fucking standing like a statue. Second goal, decides to do a fucking dummy when all he has to do is just clear the ball.
So he did himself then, because he is a dummy.
It was absolutely unbelievable. It's just imbecilic behaviour again from him on that second one. Third one, of course, it looked like De Gea would actually have saved that from Mahrez on that, but obviously Maguire sticks out his big foot and deflects it wide of him. He's been far and away our worst player this season, just because, and it beggars belief really he keeps getting picked, because again he was so bad, and obviously De Gea, even he doesn't really Again, obviously Josh I think spoke about this as well. We've got so many different players that we need to buy, and that is the main issue for me, is that there is we don't, even 6 players, which is kind of my conservative estimate of how many players we actually need, is not actually enough.
At least 10 is required. At least 10.
Because the other issue, obviously, with De Gea is that as a shot stopper, and I've obviously thought of this for months anyway, but as a shot stopper, he's phenomenal. In my opinion, the best in the Premier League. But obviously, what lets him down is his distribution. And unfortunately, in order to become, in this sort of modern day and age, in order to succeed as a top team, you have to have...
You need distribution.
Yeah, every player needs to be technically gifted. And again, obviously, this is sort of building on what Nathan said as well about the back 6. They just, again, compared to City's, is that every single player, when obviously including Ederson as well, every single player, when they get on the ball, they're comfortable on the ball and they know what they're going to do, and they take their time and they're composed and calm on it. Our players are like rabbit in the headlights. They just don't have the technical skills, and that's unfortunate. And De Gea is one of those. So on that fourth goal, it was him again, fucking doing, because that's unfortunately, but I don't really want to go in too much on De Gea because again, he obviously is brilliant at saving. He has saved us a lot this season.
It was the pass back that caused that goal, which has really pissed me off.
But it's more the case with De Gea that he just isn't. Eventually, we are going to have to replace him, and it's a shame really because he has done amazing for us, but he's not a modern keeper. And again, you saw that on that clearance, but also against Atletico Madrid when they scored their goal. Only about 30 seconds prior to that, De Gea had the ball was played back to De Gea, and he decided to horse it off for a throw-in. Which their goal came almost about, like I said, 30 seconds later. Whereas if that had been, let's say, Ederson, Alisson, Mendy, any of those keepers, they would have controlled the ball, shifted it, and then passed it, and they would never have got rid of it. And that's the unfortunate thing, is that De Gea is probably one of the worst in the Premier League at distribution. And like I said, even though he's the best at saving, if we want to progress and get to being a team that is actually dominant and actually wins trophies, we need a keeper who is not as good with, maybe you'd have to sort of say not as good with his hands, because again, De Gea is brilliant in that respect, but one who actually is comfortable on the ball. And
I said this in the summer. I said this in the summer. I would have sold De Gea and Henderson, because Henderson's not good enough. Yeah. I would have sold those two and got Donnarumma or Mike Magnan. And Magnan's already proven why I'd sign him, because he's the best goalkeeper in Seria A.
Well, Ederson, for me, has the best distribution in the Premier League. Like, he can hit a ball that'll just go to like a striker very, very easily. His distribution is very, very good. Alisson is getting very... Alisson is getting better with his distribution as well, and I think Mendy's got very, very good distribution as well. So I think
underrated.
I think in that aspect, you'd have to say yes. I think De Gea is a very good shot stopper, but it's the distribution side that lets him down. But I thought yesterday, watching that game back, Wan-Bissaka, he was like Bambi on ice as well. He kept falling over, kept trying to tackle as well. He was not great anyway, but. Let's get to a few of your comments, because there has been a lot of comments, hasn't there? Hello to Jade Exley. Thank you for tuning in. Hello, Cedric. Good evening, Chris Welsh. We all hate big baby Mahrez. Say we're always going to win with them clowns at the back. Yeah. We hate Mahrez, and no, we don't know. Mahrez was very good yesterday. What was Maguire doing? Yeah, £80 million. Maguire not worth a cup of tea or a pack of gum. He has no will or discipline. And yet he's the Manchester United captain. Oh dear. If some United fans were worried by their second half performance, then I'll take them to the doctors myself. You can tell George is ready to rant. He's looking into the sky. He's ready to go, says Josh. Hello, Rich Sports. Thank you for tuning in. I love Goldbridge analogy of a Maguire. He was like a tranquilised gnome. That's quite funny. Oh, stop it, George. At least you knew how to deal with Pep with the worst squad. I think that's about Ollie. There isn't any chemistry among the United players. They're not friends. They're not even teammates. They don't play for each other, and they definitely don't play for the badge. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't want to hear. I'm saying this as well. I don't want to hear that crappy comment about no disrespect to Hella, because she's right. I don't want to hear that crappy comment about Ollie, because it just spurs up the Ollie versus Ralph agenda, and I'm sick of it.
United fans ranting, got my popcorn. Man City didn't even play at their best because it was that easy. Yeah, Man City never got out of third gear. I don't think they got out of third gear. It was so easy for them to play in that second half.
They didn't even need to. Look how bad Man United were. They could just stroll through it and they'd still win.
Yeah, good evening to Jordan Hyman as well. I don't know what time it is where you are at the moment. Statman Stubbs, good evening, mate. Also, get well soon as well, because I won't obviously say why, but yeah, just get well soon, mate. Just get well soon. Kirk says Chris Welsh. Lol. Hi, Stephen. Hi, Chris. Agree, Reece. Who is the best right back in the Prem, Josh? Reece James?
I'll come on to that.
Reece James.
I'll come on to that.
Cancelo is not even close.
Good evening, Eagle-Eyed Nate. That feeling annoying Wan-Bissaka's transfer fee is paid for our brand new academy complex, Dougie Friedman. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Well, we will get to that. We will get to that.
Trent isn't even in the top 5 fullbacks in the world.
Thank you.
The only thing I will quickly add about
he's not even a fullback.
Manchester United is the big issue for Man United, it's outside the manager, and it's outside the managers, and it's outside the players. There's not a winning mindset, a winning mentality of Man United. Anytime things have got tough for Man United, such as in semi-finals, cup games, Man United just seem to flop. There isn't that winning mentality. When you look at Chelsea, who are struggling in the league, when it comes to the cup competitions, Tuchel's got a mentality of win. Manchester United just seem to lack that. From the top to the bottom, it doesn't seem to be someone in there who's got the winning mentality to get the team right on the pitch. So whoever does come in the summer, if it's Pochettino, Ancelotti, Eric Ten Hag, the problems are going to be so big that you won't be able to get instant success within a season or two. And the big issue for United is when does the success come? Because with the amount of people that are going to need to buy to compete with the top squads in the Premier League, you do wonder if Manchester United's secretary, the board are going to do that and back the manager. So if the Manchester United no matter who Manchester United buy, if the mentality does not change in that dressing room, they're not going to go anywhere anytime soon.
You're half right. You're halfway, borderline 3/4. You're missing one other important factor. It's not just about the manager that brings the winning mentality. It stems from your board. Yes. If your board have got a record of success, you're going to win trophies. This board has not won a single trophy in nearly 5 years. They haven't won a Premier League title under this board since 2012-13. Half the board right now weren't even on the board when we won the league title. So it's not just the manager that stems from mentality. It comes from above board because they bring the manager in.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Most important with the board as well, because that's the reason. Obviously, when you're talking about Chelsea and Tuchel, of course he's going to have that winning mentality because he knows his head's on the chopping board every single fucking week. Whereas with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, it was ring a rosies, everything's fine, for example, and you gave him so many years. So, like I said, it is ultimately the board and it's the standards that they set. And at United, unfortunately, the standards are of fail is acceptable.
Yeah, just on the about there's been a lot of questions about Trent Alexander-Arnold, Reece James, Cancelo for me is the best fullback in the Premier League by a long way. Cancelo's the best fullback in the league, hands down. But I'm
just winding you up, Kirk. I saw the fact that Kirk bet on it. I think he's a good player, but I don't think he's the best. I think he's a good player, but in no way, shape, or form is he the best fullback in the world. Cancelo's better.
I hope you are well, Kirk. Andrew Williams, thank you for tuning in. And Stammer
you can't even call him Steve anymore. You can't even call him Steve anymore. You're stuck calling him Kirk.
Statman Stubbs. Yeah, get well soon, my friend. But Liverpool did keep up the pressure on Manchester City with a 1-0 victory over West Ham. We played really poorly, played very ugly, but we managed to get the result. And Nathan, I suppose in times that you don't play well, all about the result, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, you can still play badly, and looking at the stats as well, Liverpool still had the better game, but yeah, you've got to watch West Ham on that dangerous counter-attack at times. But fair play to Liverpool for grinding out that result in the end with that Mane goal. But yeah, it is pretty interesting because looking at Liverpool's form recently, it has been very good. I mean, if Liverpool keep this up for the rest of the season, avoid losing games now as well. Saying that, they'll only be 3 points behind Man City when you play that game in hand, providing that you win, of course. But yeah, it's putting the pressure on Man City massively, and this could very well go down to the last game of the season yet again. It just entirely depends on which team can stay fit enough and who's going to slip up next.
Yeah, definitely.
Very, very interesting.
Yeah, right. Rice was out, Hella. Rice was out with illness, but I don't think he would have been able. No, I honestly don't. But yeah, Antonio had a chance he should have buried. Fornals, Trent Alexander-Arnold off the line as well, and Lanzini leaning back puts a shot into the Anfield Road end. So yeah, we were a bit lucky. We were very, very fortunate to get a result. But if you give me 1-0 against West Ham before the game started, I would have taken it. So we'll move on to
the game against City between you lot will decide it. If I'm going to say this, you have to win. I think even if City draw against you, it's over. You will not catch them if you draw against them. Because I don't see City losing like 2 or 3 games for the end of the season. I just don't see it personally.
I think
you have to beat them.
I still think there will be twists and turns for sure.
I think for a title race for a neutral fan, obviously, if Liverpool win the league, then I'm going to be coughing up a lot of hell. But in the sense of if a neutral fan was watching this, you want a title race that goes to the very end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, Andrew, I do not think I'm nipping. I'm still on my way home from work.
Yes,
I've only just left the office.
Liverpool got away with them. It's within 3 points now at the business end of the season. Can't beat every team 3 or 4-0. And yeah, that's absolutely the case. And grinding out 1-0 wins is, you'd have to say it, it's champions mentality. And Man City have done it all over every single time that they've won a Premier League as well. But enough about focus on the top 2. We will go to the top 4 race, where Josh will be smiling today. 4-0 win against Burnley. At half-time, you wouldn't have said that, would you?
Well, it was the good old cliche of two games. The 2 halves are completely different games. The first half, I thought Chelsea were really, really slow. They were really, really methodical. They weren't moving the ball quick enough. We're getting the ball into the box quick enough. And then we came in the second half. And I don't know what Tuchel did or said. I don't even know if he was threatening to hit him with a frying pan. Or if he was actually making Lukaku run for once. And for some reason, we actually decided to come and play a bit of football and play like the team that I know this Chelsea team can be. And I think that's the most frustrating thing as a Chelsea fan is this is what this team's capable of. We just don't do it often enough. I thought Reece James this year. We have Reece James man back is such a big bonus for us. The difference between him and Azpilicueta on that right hand side, it's night and day difference. His first goal, the way he made about 4 or 5 Burnley defenders slip, slide, turn, got everywhere and managed to squeeze it in was a great. Christian Pulisic with a fantastic assist for Havertz is the most perfect lofted ball. And then Havertz scored a great third goal, and then Pulisic got a lucky 4th goal towards the end when Burnley kind of gave up. So Chelsea were ruthless. I think it was 3 goals in 10 minutes. We didn't give Burnley a single sniff of chance. I thought Mason Mount was exceptional in the second half when he got into the ball. Reece James, man of the match for me. Kai Havertz again. The difference between him and Lukaku's night and day. I actually thought Saul as the left wing back actually played well. Saul's actually been okay for us. To be fair to him, I'll give Saul all the credit. I think his goal against Luton Town the other week as well was a fantastic hit. So Saul is offering exactly what we needed him to, and that was kind of fill in when needs be, and that's exactly what he's been doing. So I actually think he played better than Alonso probably has done most of the season, and that says something. So no, isn't very, very, very pleased, and I think it's just it's a consistency. We need to keep this up. I do think we're going to get top 4 low now. I don't really see how we slip out of top 4 unless we really do capitulate, which is very possible. But I think Thomas Tuchel's starting to get this team really going. I think that's probably the last 2-3 weeks have been impressed, especially with our attacking performances, and the players are buying into it. And the Pulisic, Havertz, Mount, Ziyech when it comes back, keep this form up. Chelsea obviously are going to win the league or be in a league race, but I dare to say that the Champions League is definitely there to win again.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a cracking result for Chelsea. Moving all the way to Vicarage Road, Nathan. Watford 2, Arsenal 3, and a game that had so many amazing goals.
Oh yeah, absolutely special it was. I mean, to be fair, I gotta say this, and I don't know whether anyone agrees, but I think Watford were the better team in this one. Looking at the stats as well, that Saka goal as well. I haven't really seen too many of the goals. This is the one I haven't really watched, but looking back from what a lot of people have been saying as well, yeah, Watford, Roy Hodgson has really been tightening things up there, getting him to play in his well-strengthened, organised style of football. But yeah, Arsenal, they need to guard their complacency a lot as well, because with the way it's going, they're going to be slipping up to these sides. But Watford, if they keep doing what they're doing, they're going to get some good results.
Yeah, they are. I mean, Reece, is top 4 now in Arsenal's hands?
It's top 4 to lose for Arsenal, indeed, yep. It's definitely theirs to lose, mate. 3 games in hand, nothing to lose. I'll go on a limb saying even if Arsenal lost their next 3 games, they could still finish ahead of Man United in the top 4. because they've got us in next month as well. I think realistically, United need to win every game in front of them. United can't afford a draw anymore. United have to win every single game between now and the end of the season, and all due respect, it's not going to happen. But it's definitely Arsenal's to lose. They're playing really well, and Nathan's spot on. Arsenal are winning the games that teams like United and all that expecting should be beaten. They haven't done that this season, whereas Arsenal have matured and they've been lethal. But Watford, fantastic performance, I have to admit, despite getting beat. They should keep their head held high for that, because 3-2 against the top side, they deserve a lot of respect. Well done to them. Fantastic overhead kick by Cuco Fernandes.
Yeah.
It's a great start for them. The only difference is they've been beaten by the better team, but all fair to Watford. 3-2 Arsenal win. They've taken that top fours in their hands. I hope they bottle it.
The only thing I would very quickly add to that, I do think not being in Europe compared to the other teams is a massive benefit to Arsenal. I think I said
transcended this season. We said it last year, didn't we?
I said in the summer, I said, this is going to massively benefit Arsenal. They're going to get in the training pitch. You're starting to see what Michael Arteta is trying to do now. He's been able, defensively, starting to become rock solid. If he had more consistency, in the final third, there would be a very good side going forward as well. And I do think not being in Europe and being able to have that extra bit of time to rebuild as a club, especially mentally, is a big difference. Yes, getting knocked out of the FA Cup was a big loss for them, but I think Arteta's, he's quietly doing a good job, but Arsenal aren't really being spoken about in that sense, and they won't play, and the pressure's off them. But if Arteta gets these guys into the top four, into the Champions League, it's one hell of a job compared to where they were last season.
Yeah, if he does it, then fair play to him. If he does it, then fair play to him.
Yeah. And I've just got the Tottenham Everton team news. So there's one change to the side that faced Middlesbrough in the FA Cup. Bentancur is in for Harry Winks. As far as Everton are concerned, they line up Pickford, Coleman, Holgate, Keane, Kenny, Van de Beek, Allen, Doucouré, Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison and Gordon. And Dele Alli is on the bench against his former club. And also we do have the FA Cup game between Nottingham Forest and Huddersfield. I will keep you updated with that, with any goals that go in. But I just want to say, before we move on to other teams to talk about, this top four race is reminding me of a group of drunks who continuously fall over. Nobody is actually taking advantage of this top four race. So I will just say that. But from Watford to, well, it has to be said, are Newcastle now safe? I mean, a 2-1 win over Brighton, Josh.
Newcastle were really, really good. I think, I'll hold my hand up on a bit and say, I said Eddie Howe wasn't going to be the man for Newcastle, but I was wrong. I actually think he's actually found a really, really good system as this Newcastle team. And defensively, he looks like he's actually solved the defensive problems when I thought he would do the opposite. And obviously, when you look at what Steve Bruce is doing at West Brom, I think Eddie Howe was well needed. Yes, I think even without St. Maximin, they were really, really good going forward. Really, really, really impressed with how well they attack, with how well they transition. Brighton just didn't seem like they were ready for the fight. Newcastle are safe. Brighton, that's four losses in a row now. But Grandpa has still done a fantastic job. Brighton will always going to hit runs like this. Nothing to worry about. But I've obviously one player I've been really, really impressed with Newcastle's Ryan Fraser. Someone who Steve Bruce kind of isolated out of the team for large parts, and it looks like he's coming to a bit of form. Chris Wood's playing well. Joe Willock's getting a bit of form. So no, I think Newcastle are doing very, very well. Compared to what this time last month, when you thought they were getting relegated to comfortable in the mid-table. No, that's fair play.
Pete just came up with some breaking news. What do you make of this? American football owner of the New York Jets, Woody Johnson, is putting his hat in the ring for a bid on Chelsea.
I'd be worried if I was a Chelsea fan.
Say no. Don't take it.
I've got a very simple answer for this. There is currently 16 bids. There's currently 16 bids in place for Chelsea. The deadline's the 15th of March. There's 16 bids in on the Chelsea for the moment. He's obviously just won. People are going to come out in the media. They're going to say that they're going to bid him for Chelsea. I highly doubt Roman Abramovich will sell to who's I think the Jets are probably the second worst franchise in NFL. It's not happening. Andrew, the Texans are far worse than the Jets. The Texans are absolutely awful.
Yeah. Oh, what's happened?
There we go. That's better. Switch the laptop.
Are you really
nice.
Well, I'm streaming from Haymarket now, so.
Castle's form has been excellent, more than safe. Newcastle had a very, very good window. Solid and no flashy sign is worth a treat. Long may that
Brighton losing streak
continue.
He doesn't want to say the name. Fair play.
Yeah, I know.
I'll say this. I think the best signing Newcastle actually made this entire January window was probably Jimenez, because he's actually kept their midfield comfortable. Like, their attacking threat's been great. Trippier was amazing until he got injured. But for me, the signing of Bruno Jimenez has been perfect for their midfield, because it's allowed them to just get forward. He's just shadowing that midfield. He's just, everybody that comes near him. He's like Fernandinho when he first joined the league. He's just sweeping everything that's in front of him, and then as soon as he gets the ball higher up, it's literally just, are Newcastle going to score, or are they just going to hit it wide? Because that's literally been every single game. So they're definitely safe for me.
I would agree. But who saw this result coming, George? We said it. Brentford needed the result from somewhere, and it came at Carrow Road. Is that now Norwich relegated? Is that now Brentford safe? What do you think?
So it's a very important result for Brentford, obviously. It's one of their games that they had to win in order to try and get safety. I still don't think, because it ultimately is Norwich. I think, obviously, when I look back at, for example, obviously Manchester United, one of the bullet points in my season report will be the fact that we somehow managed to have a negative head-to-head record against Watford, because Watford are also going down, and so are Norwich. So I was just going to find there about the fact that both those teams are definitely getting relegated. It's a game that Brentford had to win. Obviously, a very touching moment with Brandon Williams and Christian Eriksen when he thought he was about to square up to him, and then he suddenly realised it was Christian Eriksen, the one person that he's not going to fight. Fantastic hat-trick from Tony. Not only that, but obviously 2 penalty kicks against arguably the best penalty kick stopper in the league. Both incredibly well played, as well as no chance Cruz going to get them. But I still think Brentford are out would get. Obviously, what Burnley has played to as well. I think it's going to be very difficult for Brentford. I still think, based on how well Leeds played against Leicester, just March, I think it's very difficult to call still who's going to get relegated, and I still think Brentford are one of my candidates to go down.
I think you just need to give them I think what you need to do is you look at that result and you base it as they've had the blip. Now it's a matter of can they sustain it. If they can sustain it,
what a goal!
Then they will stay up. Who scored?
Lees for Huddersfield, whipped in from a corner, straight on header. Nottingham Forest absolutely shambolic defending.
1-0 Huddersfield.
1-0 Huddersfield.
I hope Gardner scores, but I want Forest out.
I don't know. I think Forest fans deserve it, considering what they've been through over the last 10, 15 years. But yeah, quality defending from Jack Colback there.
I take it it's not cold up in Scotland, or is Reece just rock hard being out and about in just a hoodie? Football is weird. Norwich can go win 3 games in 4 and be in good shape. I doubt it. Norwich and Watford in the mud. Yeah. Burnley put in a great effort in recently, but sometimes that catches up to you. I can only hear the Haymarket train announcements.
Next time she speaks, I'll mute. Don't worry.
I know it's a random question for the panel. Who, in your opinion, is the best academy player for the team you support? Say some really good ones. Probably Cole Palmer, in my opinion.
I agree.
Hannibal Mesbury or Alejandro Garnacho for us, personally.
I think the lazy answer for me would probably be Trent Alexander-Arnold, but I'm actually going to say Curtis Jones.
Good player.
Quality.
Josh, any good academy players for Chelsea?
But in the current academy, probably my favourite at the moment is Harvey Vale.
Jamal Musiala, bitch.
Nathan, any Cardiff?
I've got a list longer than my arm because our academy is, well, it's like a conveyor belt at the moment. I mean, the old man said Isaac Davis, but I've got to say Ruben Colwell. He is going to be a mid to even upper table Premier League player in a few years.
Okay. Thanks for the question, Pete. That was a very, very interesting question. Isaac Davis. Harvey Elliott. No, Harvey Elliott came from Fulham, Andrew. We had to pay a tribunal fee for Harvey Elliott. So hello, Niall Kane. Thank you for tuning in as always. Really do appreciate it as well. Yeah, Leicester 1, Leeds 0. So it continues for Leeds, Nathan. But I think you'd have to say Leeds United did actually play pretty well in this game.
Yeah, I thought they were okay against Leicester. I mean, not too much to shout home about for both teams. Leicester, I thought, were pretty average. Yeah, Harvey Barnes getting that goal later on. But yeah, Leeds, it's just the defence yet again. And I can already see the red flags with Jesse Marsch going into that job. And if I'm honest, yeah,
I warned them.
It is I'd be very concerned if I was a Leeds fan, to be honest. Not that I would ever want to think about having to be a Leeds fan. That sounds bad enough. But yeah. You can tell it's not the right fit for him. And there's going to be another American manager doing absolutely atrocious in the Premier League. And, well, there'll always be one Agent Bob Bradley planted by Vincent Tan in the Prem. But, yeah, this is, just Jesse Marsch. It's going to be a disaster already, you can tell.
I knew that was going to be that.
Can I just say, I'm probably the only one who cares about it. But did anyone else find it really cringy the way he decided to do a random huddle at the end of the match in the middle of the pitch? Why would you do that? Why would you just go to the dressing room right in front of all the Leicester fans and cameras? Is it just a big?
It was like that whole manager a few years ago at half time when he was doing all this. Yeah,
Phil Brown, yeah.
Reece, did he ever do that at Leipzig where he just decided to get the players into the middle of the pitch randomly?
4 times, and every time he'd done it, we lost.
I just thought it was really cringy and weird. Like, just go to the dresser and get the other manager.
Yeah, but a big win for Leicester, and they continue to go up, but Leeds are continuing to look below them. Anyway, but who saw this result coming, George? Aston Villa 4, Southampton 0.
Yeah, I think for Southampton, it's one of those cases where potentially a hangover from the FA Cup, because ultimately they've been very good form quite recently. But you've got to give, will I give Coutinho any credit here? But, I thought there was.
I don't usually agree with City fan, but I'll admit, good band.
That's brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I thought Coutinho again showed his quality. There was some amazing moments in that game from him. I thought Aston Villa were well worthy winners, but yeah, Coutinho was very much the star of the show. Quite obviously, it could even have been more. There was a few chances as well that went a begging, but yeah, Coutinho played very well, and obviously he's been quite a good signing for Aston Villa overall. He really does contribute, obviously, and I often wonder really for Coutinho, what goes through his mind, because obviously it is, he's played for quite a few illustrious clubs down the years, and now he's stuck at Villa. And I often wonder what he actually thinks about that, because he's obviously, he looks amazing in Villa's team, but obviously it's never quite worked for him elsewhere, has it? Even at Liverpool, I think there was a stat, wasn't there, that you guys had more points per game when Coutinho didn't play rather than when he did, I think. So yeah, it's never quite worked out for him elsewhere.
That's interesting indeed. let's see. Hello, Sebastian. Thank you for tuning in. Southampton, a big match midweek. Yeah, they did. They did. They were excellent against West Ham in the FA Cup, for sure. Kaiser Chiefs absolute gash, in my opinion. I've seen the Kaiser Chiefs live. They're not gash. I was shocked by the Saints, and they've been very good recently.
Yeah.
Just shouty music for drunk people. Opinions are like a-holes, Andrew. Everybody has. Oh. And I suppose again, Nathan, Wolves 0, Crystal Palace 2. Was that a bit of a surprise?
To me, half and half, because Palace really impressed me this season. Yes, I mean, traditionally we all know how Palace are that good away, but yeah, Zaha getting the penalty first, second of all, and then Mateta getting that other goal as well. But yeah, quite shocking to see Wolves leak that many goals as well, considering, well, looking at the stats once again, evenly matched game, but just Palace had that quality in the final third to break down the defense in the end and get through. But yeah. Bruno Lage must have been really disappointed after that performance from Wolves. But yeah, fair play to Palace, grinding out results. And as you said about Vieira as well, he has been probably one of everyone thought he was going to be a massive disappointment this season. How we were all wrong about that. He has been superb. I mean, playing good football, really turning around in that rebuild era for him as well, set them up for the future. Yeah, Palace are going to be regulars in the Premier League for years to come after that. Super.
Just, and this is another rather common thing with Wolves. I honestly do not particularly like Jose Sa. He doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence. He's got a lot of mistakes in him. He seems to be very undecided when they come out. Don't think he's a great shot stopper. I think if a good goalkeeper comes up in the window that the Wolves should invest into, I would probably go for him. Jose Sa doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence. If he didn't have such a good defense in front of him, I feel like he'd be a bit more exposed to how average he is.
Interesting. I quite like Jose Sa. Just give me a minute. I'm just doing something. So what we'll do now is we will let somebody else take over and do There is big news. There is potential big news, and it is managerial updates. I don't know if I should read this out. Reece, do you want me to read this out at all?
Be my guest.
So according to this, Erik ten Hag, as reported heavily by lots of sources, was contacted about his situation, ambition, and long-term plans. His agency have since responded with the detailed and close sources to his agency say a very eye-catching and appealing long-term plan, and as a man who knows what he wants in life and his future career. PSG expect and are waiting for an alert from Mauricio Pochettino's agency about rumours regarding Manchester United. Sources have since the last few days been very clear that if contacted, Pochettino would wish to speak to Manchester United. However, in terms of the Premier League, he feels he has a job to finish where no manager is taken on at Spurs.
Yeah, well, that proves all along then. You can fuck off then, you little dick.
Regarding the other candidates of the five manager ring, Sevilla's Julian Lopetegui, Sporting Lisbon's Ruben Amorim, and Julian Nagelsmann finished the list. However, the three referenced are said to be viable options, but will be hard to price away from clubs given release clauses. Nagelsmann, 40 million euros to get him away from Bayern Munich. So I'd
spend it. I don't care. I'd spend it. I've said it the past couple of years. If we don't get Ten Hag or Enrique, I want my dream appointment. I want Nagelsmann.
Yeah. So that's just a little bit of news anyway. But we are going to do something a little bit different because Josh came up with this idea, which we would basically discuss about and just basically round up. Just round up a little bit of, La Liga. La Liga, someone does Bundesliga, someone does Seria A, someone does the SPFL, and someone does, obviously, the Championship. So I'm going to hand over to my co-host, Josh, where he will talk about La Liga.
It was actually a really, really good week of La Liga. Some big results for certain bigger teams. Sevilla dropping points against Damian Alves away from home and 0-8 draw. Sevilla, obviously, really the only contender for the La Liga Championship. Sevilla really were disappointing. I think Lopetegui's done a fantastic job at that club since he's went in. Alves have been poor all year. It's a big point for them considering where they are in the table. But Real Madrid, fortunately now 8 points clear top of the league, which it's not very good. Alves creep closer to safety. Also, Serena bet Furial 1-0. Furial were shocking on the day. Furial did not register a single shot on target, which is unlike a new. We're too racist, my God.
My laptop died. I'll charge it on the train.
Also, Sweden bit Furial 1-0. Very good win for us. Sweden dead game. I actually decided to watch this. It was 90 minutes of my life I'm never getting back. That's the thing with Unai Emery football. It's either spectacular or the worst football you'll ever see. Espanyol won Bet Getafe 2-0. For anyone who is not aware, the Getafe manager's former Watford manager, what's his name? I can't see Flores, whatever the hell you call the guy.
Kiki Flores.
Flores.
That's the one. He's actually not won. Getafe have not won away in La Liga all season. They're absolutely winless away from home with only 2 points out of all their away games so far this season. Valencia won 3-1. Bortolas is the most boring manager you'll ever see. His philosophy is kick the legs off the other players and hope for the best. They somehow scored. That's the first time Furial has scored 3 goals under his 62 games in charge. There you go. Real Madrid won 4-1 to increase their league, Liga, the lead at the top of the table against Real Sociedad. Real Sociedad have not won in their last 11 games away from home. Real Sociedad are a good team, a young team, but Real Madrid too strong. And then a big train going past. Barcelona won 2-1 against Elche. Barcelona with 2 goals in the second half. Second goal coming in the 83rd minute. Barcelona's second half was fantastic. Really impressed with Ferran Torres came on and at the start of the second half. He was man of the match. Fantastic! His directness, his quickness, his movement. I thought PK was rolling back the years with some of his balls. Barcelona under Xavi. That's I think 8 games unbeaten now. They've moved up third into La Liga and are sitting comfortably in the top 4. Game of the week was Celtic Figo 4, Malaga 3.
Wow.
And this is both teams went down to 10 men, and this is how exciting it got. Both teams went down to 10 men towards the end of the half. Celtic Figo won the game with a 97th minute penalty from Igor Aspas, the captain of Celtic Figo. It was a fantastic game of football. Celtic Figo are got the best home record in La Liga. A fantastic game. And I said both teams are mid-table. And then probably the big result was Atletico Madrid 3, Real Betis 1. Manuel Pellegrini suffering 2 big defeats in a row after losing the Sofia derby last week, now losing to Atletico Madrid this week. They're now have dropped out of the top 4. Real Madrid, João Felix, some player. João Felix was absolutely exceptional. He hasn't played too much for Atletico Madrid this year, but he started the last 2 games. Atletico Madrid have looked like a far different team, and they're coming into a bit of form when they're going away to Old Trafford to play Man United, surprisingly enough. Simeone around this time normally has a very good track record, and Manuel Pellegrini's Real Betis are starting to slip defensively. They are an utter shambles, just like his West Ham team was. And
They did pick up 2 serious interesting injuries, didn't they? For Schlalko was injured, and I believe the other one was Correa.
Correct. That is absolutely right. But they've got really good depth. If you look at their starting lineup, it was a fantastic lineup that they put out. But I think that I said João Felix, man, with the 2 goals for Atletico Madrid up by. The 2 goals that João Felix were absolutely superb, and the one player that I really like with Atletico Madrid is Rally De Paul. He was a new signing all summer. He adds creativity. He adds something else that they normally don't have. Laudy again was also superb, and Avos Francisco, who's obviously took over from.
Oh, that's a good goal.
Was very good. So,
goal, Nathan.
Yeah, Sam Surridge just curling it into the top corner. Mistake by the Huddersfield defenders. Straight in there, 1-1.
1-1.
The really exciting thing about the La Liga table now is that obviously the top four is Real Madrid, Sevilla, Barcelona, and Atletico Madrid. The top four teams have not lost in their last 6 games. The top four are undefeated in their last 6 games. Third and fourth place still wide open, and I don't think Real Madrid are going to slip up. Unfortunately, the big issue with Sevilla is 10 draws, which has been the big issue for them, just not scoring enough goals, unfortunately. But La Liga is competitive, top four. Top four is all to fight for. If Real Betis drop out and Atletico Madrid move in, and Atletico Madrid have won their last 5 of their last 6 games as they go away to Old Trafford, coming mid and not too far away. So George, is he looking nervous there?
Easy win for us.
Yeah, I think there may be a certain striker that might start that game, and I think we know who that might be. Let's see some of your comments. For him just to be treated like a muppet and players and coaches who picked for him. I wouldn't impose our pile of clowns on Nagelsmann. More respect for him than that. Why would Nagelsmann leave the Bundesliga to come to United? Plus, why the hell would Nagelsmann leave Bayern for us? Anyone stupid enough to make that decision, I question their intelligence, sanity, 1,000%, 10,000%. I think that is. Sorry, Rob, your point. The fact that he's on our list shows how deluded we are. George Kyle saying, sadly, I think Pochettino will be a manager next season. Atletico Madrid having a down year for their standards. Yeah, I would certainly say. Great minds, Andrew. Andrew with a smiley face. Wouldn't trust Poch to stay on the right side, to be honest. Come on, you trees, says Andrew. Yeah, some game. I think it is ITV4 it's on. Nathan?
Yeah, sorry. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, it's on ITV4. Really, really exciting so far. Yeah. For me, Forest have been the better team, but this has been a good game.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you, Josh, for that La Liga roundup. I'll hand over to my Welsh friend, and we will talk about the Championship, because it was a big, big weekend for the Welsh clubs.
Absolutely, yeah. Cardiff City, really important game against QPR. What a win it was as well. Definitely the better team. QPR, half of the shots just ended up in the stands, doing absolutely nothing with the possession, holding on to it, but the Cardiff press was just too much for them. Yeah, thought QPR really poor. 1 win in 5 now for them. Yeah, they need to start turning things around. Puts us in a good position as well, about to leapfrog the Jacks, providing their games in hand, of course. Really good run from Cardiff as well, winning our last 2 matches, getting some good form in before that all-important South Wales derby as well. Looking down west, I mean, I've got to cover him to be a little bit impartial of what is happening there. Yeah, very good 3-1 victory against Coventry there as well. 2 goals from Obafemi.
Yeah, that's a good one, actually, because Coventry are flying at the moment.
They absolutely are as well. I mean, that was their 2 wins and a draw prior to that as well. So that is a great result for the Jacks. 2 goals quickly from Obafemi, and then 1 goal from Mr. I like to incite hooliganism as well. God, I hate that guy so much. To be fair, changing their approach to the Jacks as well, not constantly holding on to the ball forever. They don't like to take too many shots either. I mean, all 3 of their shots on target went in, so you got to credit them for that as well. Gustavo Hamer getting the goal for Coventry, a bit of consolation goal there as well towards the end. But yeah, very good from the Jacks, it pains me to say. And then looking at some other notable games from the Championship as well. Sheffield United drawing with Nottingham Forest. Yeah, Sheffield United still a bit patchy up and down. For me, they're not going to make playoffs, but yeah, I'd say they made a good account of themselves as well. Forest continuing to grind out results, keep continuing to push for those playoffs too. Huddersfield pushing into those automatics now, 3-0 against Peterborough. Yes, they have been shocking Peterborough, but at the end of the day, yeah, absolutely, yeah, Peterborough in shocking. 4 losses on the bounce now. And yeah, wait, where's that sound coming from?
Yeah, someone is. I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, that is very weird. But
it wasn't me. I was muted.
Yeah, Huddersfield. Go on, sorry, Doug.
No, it's all right. Just as far as Peterborough, I'm just gonna ask this very, very quickly. Do you think they're gone?
For me, they're gone. bottom of the league. I mean, Barnsley, who have been absolutely woeful this year, I think they were only on 14 points the other week. Have had a bit of resurgence. Yeah, Peterborough long gone. I think Barnsley are gone as well. And it's between Derby and Reading at this point.
Yeah.
They're 2 points deduction teams.
It's very, very interesting as well. But you do have some news apparently about Barnsley reporting Reading.
Yeah, absolutely. Barnsley have put in a complaint to the EFL today regarding Reading's overspending and saying that they're having a financial advantage over other clubs. For me, I absolutely agree with Barnsley putting in this complaint. Reading have been overspending for years. They've had about 2 or 3 transfer embargoes in the last 6 years as well. They've had a points deduction this season as well. I think they lost over £40 million. They spend ridiculous amounts of money every single year that they're allowed to. And quite frankly, the FL needs to take a bigger stance. As a Cardiff fan, we can't exactly talk being £109 million in debt and also being in a 2-window transfer embargo ourselves. So yeah, for me, the Championship is made up of three types of teams. You have the parachute teams with all the money, able to spend big, like your Fulhams, your Bournemouths as well. Then you have your mid-table clubs who are sort of just there surviving, breaking even, your Lutons, your Millwalls, your Coventrys as well, and your Boroughs, you can add in their West Broms too. And then you have the teams that are in trouble. Your Derby Counties, your Readings, all on points deductions, your Cardiffs, your Birminghams on transfer embargoes, losing loads of money. Bristol City losing about 500k a week as well. Yeah, something needs to be reformed in the EFL. The finances of all the clubs are just all over the place at the moment.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree with that. George, do you think Derby are going to do it? Do you think Wayne Rooney's going to be able to do it? They're only 5 points off Reading now.
I think he will do, yes. I think obviously with Reading, I think they're probably going to be drawn back in, and it's going to be a phenomenal achievement for Rooney. Obviously seen quite a lot, he's one of those, obviously because of what a superstar he is to so many. You often see a lot of his team talks and things, obviously on TikTok, lots of clips of Rooney, and he certainly does have a good managerial style that seems to be working for Derby. He's very motivational. I think also as well his sort of down to earth personality really does work. I think that's what that they all sort of respect him and really do want to work hard for him. And that's the ultimate thing that you really do need as your primary thing as a manager. You need players who are want to work for you, which obviously United unfortunately don't. But full marks to Rooney. And I think Derby will do it as well.
Very, very interesting. And Josh,
what a goal!
Steve,
there's been another goal. Ryan Yates, a nice little header from a set piece for Nottingham Forest there. Yeah, 2-1 Forest, straight in from James Garner as well. Superb header. Lots of set pieces in this game, but it seems to be working for both clubs. This has been exciting. 37 minutes, 2-1.
2-1 Forest. Wow. I mean, obviously, I know that Liverpool are face the winners of this tie, so
yeah,
going to be a very, very interesting game. Josh, finally, I think at the 7th attempt, Steve Bruce has finally won a match as West Brom manager.
Why is he still a thing? Retire, man. Hang up the boots. Give up with life. You're terrible. He doesn't have a philosophy. He can't defend, right? He's like, right, we're going to set up a 5-4-1. Oh, we can't defend, so we can't score. The man's awful. Like, I would do.
By the way, yeah, I think anyone would do better anyway. Bluebird Legend. I saw Nico Williams almost score from about the halfway line. He actually chipped the goalkeeper well off the bar. So very, very unlucky. Fulham are up. Hell of a battle for second with Cherry's been in pole position. Yeah, I don't know. I think Huddersfield are going well. I think Huddersfield might be there as well. Huddersfield are amazing. From when I've seen them, haven't been impressed.
Yeah, I agree.
Peterborough have been woeful. That is an understatement of the year, Paul, I have to say. Preston excellent over Bournemouth. Yeah, has anyone seen the Daniel Iverson save from a Nat Phillips header?
Fantastic.
Absolute stunning save, that. That's a match-winning save, that one. Absolutely amazing. Bournemouth made a massive error in January. Reading do have two of the best midfielders in the division, but have an atrocious defence. Yep. Forest are decent, fair play.
Yeah.
Should be offside. No VAR on the cup at non-England Premier League is a national disgrace.
Yeah,
It was amazing from Neko. Yeah. Apparently, Joe Garner's got the assist for Forest as well.
Yeah,
so...
it was a free kick. Really nice ball into Ryan Yates, straight on the header. Borderline offside, but no, I think just about in 2-1 Forest for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Hello, Adam. Thank you for tuning in. Right, it's my shot because you guys will be hearing from the Bundesliga. Now, there were only 8 games this week, and I will obviously tell you why. Bundesliga. Yes, inconsistent Bayern Munich strike again. Bayern Munich 1, Leverkusen 1. Nicholas Süle opened the scoring for Bayern Munich, and then Thomas Müller scored an own goal. But because of the game between Mainz and Dortmund being postponed, there was a COVID outbreak at Mainz. That game will now be played on the 16th of March. So that's next Thursday, I think. No, next Wednesday. Yeah, it's next Thursday. So that game will be played soon enough because obviously Dortmund are not in Europe anymore. So that's another one. Started on Friday with Augsburg getting an absolutely massive win against Arminia Bielefeld. You'd have to say that now, looking at the table, Augsburg have 26 points, Arminia Bielefeld are on 25. So big win there. Bochum beat Greuther Fürth by 2-1, and Greuther Fürth, it's slipping away ever so slightly. 14 points. They are they are 9 points adrift of Hertha Berlin. They are 9 points adrift of Hertha Berlin, but they are 11 points from safety. So with about 9 games to go, it is looking very, very bleak as well. Stuttgart got an absolutely massive result against Mönchengladbach. 3-2 win. That one, I'm just starting to get used to this. We were 2-0 up, and we managed to slip a 2-goal lead and lose 3-2. It's just happening. It's just like my.
He's done that to my club last season, so I'm not shocked.
Yeah, absolutely. Wolfsburg won by 1-0 against Union Berlin. Poor old Taiwo Iwonyi scoring in his own net as well. Interestingly enough, Leipzig and Freiburg drew 1-1. Reece, that's a bit of a disappointing result. Oh. Okay.
Say what?
Leipzig, very disappointing result. 1-1 with Freiburg.
Yeah, it was a very poor. Shut up.
Please mind the gap when alighting from this train.
One moment, Doug. There we go. Very, very poor performance from Leipzig. Back three. To be fair, very good in the ball. The problem is they just weren't keeping Freiburg at bay. Freiburg, very good pressure with the ball, counter pressure as well. We just couldn't sustain attacks, unfortunately. Angelino's 90th minute equaliser keeps us unbeaten since the start of the new year. So roll on.
Yeah, definitely. Hoffenheim got a 1-0 win over FC Köln. Yeah, Hertha Berlin for me are bang in trouble. 4-1 defeat at home to Eintracht Frankfurt. So it's not looking good for Hertha. And as I said, there were only 8 games played because Mainz against Borussia Dortmund was postponed. So Bayern Munich are 9 points clear with that game in hand for Dortmund, who are on 50. Leverkusen third on 45. Hoffenheim on 43. Then come Leipzig in fifth, 41. Then Freiburg 41. Union Berlin 37. Köln 36. Mainz 34. Frankfurt 34. Bochum, don't think they're going to get dragged into it somehow, 32. Wolfsburg 31. Mönchengladbach are bang in it for me, 27. Augsburg 26. Arminia Bielefeld 25. Hertha 23. VfB Stuttgart 22, and Greuther Fürth, with those 3 wins, languishing at the bottom with 14 points. Josh, who do you think is going down with Fürth?
I had to do so much on mute there because I was watching the La Liga game. That's probably where the audio was coming from earlier. That's a tough question. First of all, I just want to say, I can't believe Gladbach are all the way down near the bottom of the table. I don't particularly rate Adolf Hitler or whatever the hell you call him. Don't really rate him as a manager at all. I don't think he did very well.
Yeah.
I don't think he did really well with Frankfurt his last couple of years. He got them to the Europa League semi-final, fair enough. That was with Sebastian Haller and Jovic. I think other than that, I think he's a bang average manager. I don't think he's that good. I think Gladbach would be better moving on from him.
There is a goal. There is a goal at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Michael Keane has scored into his own net, so it's 1-0 to Tottenham.
He's awful.
Michael Keane has scored an absolutely beauty of an own goal, and it is in the back of the back of the Everton net. It is 1-0 to Tottenham, and Everton are bang in more trouble.
Well, to answer your question, first of all, that Greuther Fürth, whatever how you call that, are going down there. That long goal there. Poor guys. Clearly out of their depth. Hey, I think we'll probably. I think. Gladbach. It's not a question. I think Bearfield will finish 15th. I think Hertha Berlin, their club, really beautiful stadium. I love their stadium. I think they'll stay up just. But I think Bearfield will go down. I think Hertha Berlin should have enough to stay up. Hopefully, anyway, because I really like their stadium. It'll be sad to see them go.
Yeah, definitely. We have covered the Premier League, the Championship, La Liga. We're on the Bundesliga, and obviously I will pass to my good friend Reece on the Serie A as well. It is now 2-0 to Tottenham. Tottenham have just made it 2-0. Everton, man, they're just so bad right now. So bad. But yeah, I mean, George, have you managed to see any Bundesliga action at all?
No, I tend to stick to my Premier League, but obviously with the Bundesliga, I tend to only sort of see Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund. So those are the 2 clubs for me that I always keep track of still. But yeah, it's I think obviously with Bayern, I still expect them to win the Champions League, and I think that's probably going to be their sort of main aspiration. And they're also going to have obviously that's a slight advantage again. Similarly with and obviously with PSG, for example, where you've got quite a healthy gap at the top of the table, which can be so beneficial. Whereas obviously Man City and Liverpool, for example, both have aspirations of winning the Champions League, are going to have this really tight title race. So yeah, I think obviously for Bayern, they've got that slight cushion as well in the Bundesliga to be able.
I'm sorry, I've just put on the own goal from Michael Keane. He's literally volleyed it into the back of the net. It's so bad.
I've seen this.
Thank we got rid of him, didn't we?
Yeah. Definitely. Footballers, they were such flopping pansies. This kid, Gordon from Everton, has been on the ground longer than on his feet. Hopefully. Oh, yeah, Barcelona's win the Europa League.
No.
Oh, I've just seen it. That is absolutely shocking.
Not a chance.
That was bad.
They're not.
Just
For me, they're not.
Kane
For me, they're not. You always think he'll
Oh,
score goals, but he's not
no.
going to happen.
Harry Kane goal. Well, it is Reece going full nipping tonight. No, I think he's on the way home. He's on the way home.
I'm on the final stretch now. This is the walk.
Yeah,
The walk.
P,
It's not really a walk of shame, but it's a walk.
P, have you seen the Michael Keane own goal? It is absolutely shocking own goal.
To be fair, what Pickford's just done is equally as bad. Pickford's just gifted them the goal, and people say he's the best goalkeeper for England.
2-0 Tottenham, yeah, I've just seen that. Must be the worst Everton team I've ever seen.
Oh,
Yep, I would
100%.
agree. Rich, I think we're definitely going to be having good discussions tonight for sure about about Everton.
It's worse than Walter Smith's team, and I stand on that.
We've got Galatasaray, Osasuna, and Real Madrid next 3 opponents. Where's Reece going? He's heading home. But I won't stand in his way any longer. I know Everton in massive trouble. Huge game against Wolves on Sunday. Oh, that's a
They're not winning
massive
that
game.
one.
I just don't think they're going to. I just don't think they're going to anyway. But yeah, Reece, if you have a good enough connection, AC Milan go top.
Fucking El Diavolo, where they belong, back on top. Fuck you, you Nerazzurri bastard. Stay in your lane. Yep, absolutely. Best striker in the league this year for me has been Olivier Giroud. Naturally, Milan, comfortable performance. Napoli, as per usual, dominated the possession. Very good in the ball. I can't take that away. Fabian as well in midfield. He's absolutely fantastic. But once again, it's Napoli's consistency with scoring goals, or should I say, lack of them. They just couldn't put the ball in the net. And I said to a few people that I know, like other Milan fans, I was like community that I'm in, I was like, half time 0-0 is perfect. Just watch us score 1 goal in the second half and we'll win this game. Giroud, 5 minutes into the second half, bang, finish. I said to Josh at this, funnily enough, at the podcast at the start of the season, Olivier Giroud, he will win Milan the title. Chelsea will not win the league. So it feels good that at least someone's delivering it. So I will say this though, Milan needed the win because obviously at the start of the weekend, Inter Milan 5-0 win. Fantastic performance by Inter Milan. They're starting to really get back into form as well. Juventus as well, grinding results. Juventus are 4 points behind Napoli. 4 points behind them. They're catching them. That is their third 1-0 win in a row. Very impressive since they've switched to the 4-2-3-1 system.
Pickford. Jesus Christ. I've just seen it. Oh my God.
Yeah. No, that's what I mean. Gifty that. Yep. Consecutive wins in a row for Juventus. They're building so well. I think the key for them is not just about the system change, it's the fact they've got Vlahovic as the focal point. It's given Dybala room. It's given Dybala the room to go back into the number 10 position, which I think is his best position. And Zicario's just been an absolute boss for them in midfield. It's disgusting that he was overlooked.
Yeah, absolutely.
Other than that, it's just a dog going past me. My phone is going to run out as well, so this is fun. My phone has got to run out. Well, last game as well. Most importantly, relegation battle is going to end up like a shit show. So stay tuned for the relegation zone, and I'll see you in a bit. My phone is going to die.
Okay, well, we'll see you very soon. We'll see you very, very soon. Oh, poor Reece, mate. Poor Reece. But
can we just say that is dedication to do what he's doing just for our podcast? So
absolutely. Top of the table, Milan 60 points, Inter 58 with the game in hand, of course. Napoli 57, Juventus 53. I think it's the top four in the chase to win the league. So with 10 games to go, Josh, who's winning Seria A?
I'm going to say this while obviously Reece isn't here. I think it will be Inter Milan. I think AC Milan are very. I can see the good show. I think AC Milan are very side, but there's times this season where they have stepped up and stuff quite badly. They are a team that can't hit really bad runs of form, and they are really inexperienced. And I think Inzaghi at Inter Milan has got the best squad. I think he's got the best depth. I think he's probably got the best defense in the league. So I think Inter Milan, with the experience that they have, will probably slightly just edge it. But I think AC Milan are a very, very good side. It kind of makes me wish we never sold Giroud to them. I think that was a bad mistake on our half. I just feel like AC Milan just have that little bit of inconsistency, and especially in the bigger games where sometimes they aren't able to compete as much. But I said I really like the look. I think Alexis Sanchez, Edin Dzeko, Stefan de Vrij, Marlene Skriniar, they've all been fantastic this year for Inter Milan, and I just feel like they'll just slightly edge it.
George?
Now my head is saying Inter Milan as well, but I'm gonna be kind to Reece, and I'm gonna say AC Milan will do it.
Interesting. Nathan?
For me, this is so tight because you could even bring Napoli into it as well. I think it's going to go down to the last game of the season between all three teams, if I'm honest. And I'm going to say it.
I think Juve have to play Inter soon as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm going to say Inter Milan just sneak it.
Why do I just see Juventus clawing their deficit back? I don't think the three that are there at the moment are consistent enough, and I think Juventus grinding out wins is massive for them. They know how to get things won.
Yeah,
it's just going to be one of those things for me. So, I'm going to say Juve. I think Juve can do it.
They've got the prolific striker, haven't they?
Vlahovic.
Goals tend to win titles, and that was one of the things with him. Obviously, the goals that he's been scoring are just ridiculous. He's just an amazing striker, and obviously they've got the goals. And I was thinking a bit like you. I just thought they had a bit too many points to claw back. But you are right; they seem to be on a roll. And if all the other three teams keep choking, then they could overhaul them all, which would be the ultimate comeback to actually win the title.
Yeah, absolutely indeed. But we are approaching the end of our little wee roundup. But we'll do the SPFL roundup because I don't think it's fair to say this. Celtic have won their first game at Livingston in 15 years. They won 3-1, but to be honest, Livingston haven't been in the top flight since 2006 before that. But the one thing I will say, I think we are safe now. I don't see anyone else catching Livingston. I really don't. And I think it's another fantastic season to do that as well. Rangers did scrape a 1-0 win over Aberdeen as well. Motherwell are in a very interesting side. One with Dundee, and now obviously St Johnstone drew 0-0 with Hibs as well. Dundee United drew 2-2 with Hearts as well. It's been very, very intriguing games there as well. But it's a very, very interesting league.
If I'm not mistaken, Motherwell have not won a game this calendar year, have they? They're in a terrible, terrible run of form.
Yeah, they're in a really bad run of form.
I don't know if you'll disagree with me on this, but they should not have sacked Stevie Robinson. I think that was a terrible, terrible choice by Motherwell. I think he was doing a good job, and it was a Green Chancellor. I can't remember his fucking name. He's a chip, doesn't know what he's at.
One thing I will say though, Nathan, your ex-manager's 6th in the Premiership with Ross County right now.
And everyone was saying that they were going to get relegated overwhelmingly. I mean, I say it all the time. Malky Mackay is such an underrated manager. I mean, recently they had 3 wins on the bounce, 1 loss in about 5 or 6 games. That is just magnificent for a club of that size as well. 9 games won this season. Just, what a job he's doing there. And saying that as well, looking elsewhere in the league. Go on.
He's doing a great job. I mean, 1-0 win over St Mirren. They're doing very, very well as well. But Livingston to be sort of 5th at the moment. Yeah, 5th at the moment. I can go through the table if you want. Celtic 73, Rangers 70, Hearts 50, Hibs 37, with a better goal difference than Livingston, 37, Ross County 36, Dundee United 36, Motherwell 36. 3 teams on 36, and then it comes St Mirren 33, Aberdeen are 10th, Josh.
Shocking season for him.
Yeah, no, listen, Jim Goodwin's got a lot to figure out. As much as I really don't like Mark McGuinness, I hated his attitude, and he was a stubborn-ass manager. I think Aberdeen have lost a lot of identity. They've lost all of their best players, and they've lost a lot of identity that Derek McGuinness did give them. Even though they were ugly and probably one of the more defensive teams in the Scottish League, they got results from it, and he got them into Europe, and they were always competitive. And it just seems like they've lost that identity, and they don't really have much of an identity. I don't really see what Jim Goodwin's trying to do at the moment. He doesn't really seem like he's got much of a game plan, a philosophy. He doesn't have much time to get it together, and it's a bad time to come in. But he had no pressure at St Mirren. He was overachieving. He was doing a fantastic job, and he doesn't have long to turn Aberdeen around. Aberdeen need to get an identity. They need to get a philosophy. They need to get some consistency going because they've lost all of us since they did sack Derek McGuinness. And if they don't get it right soon, then they are in very, very big trouble.
I would agree. I would absolutely agree. And it's Johnson 24 and Dundee on 23. But Dundee do have that game in hand, which is against St Mirren, which I think is tomorrow night as well. I knew someone would ask me this. I'm not a big fan of it, but it seems Livingston have picked more points up away from home this season than they have at home, so maybe we should go back to grass. I don't know. It's not everybody's cup of tea, let's put it that way, but it does get us results, and we've beaten Celtic earlier in the season because of that as well. But it's a leveler. Let's just say that. Anyway, but we will go to, if anybody has any questions for the panel, then let us know. What was that, Nathan?
Oh, just get them in the comments, guys.
Oh, get them in the comments.
That's the indication.
What's the latest with the Nottingham Forest game?
Half time currently 2-1 to Nottingham Forest. This could probably go to penalties, to be fair. It really is whoever has Steve Cooper or Carlos Colberan who has the better half time talk, who makes the correct substitutions. If I'm honest, I think Forest have just got it at home. Huddersfield losing their first game in 17 matches.
Welcome back, Reece.
Didn't run or nothing.
That's all right. That's all right. What are all your favourite sweets, snacks, and chocolate bars?
Before anyone answers this question, I don't know if this is a Northern Ireland thing or a UK thing. Has anybody seen this cheese and onion chocolate bar malarkey that has came out? No,
I don't want to.
Okay,
No, I don't want to know. That sounds minging.
It's obviously a Northern Ireland first before it goes elsewhere. Tato have released a cheese and onion flavoured chocolate bar. No word of a lie. It is a chocolate bar. Cheese and onion flavoured.
Yuck. Favourite sweets and snacks? I like prawn cocktail Walker's crisps. I don't eat a lot of chocolate now. I used to, but not anymore. Nathan, you got a favourite sweet snack or chocolate bar?
Got loads. It's a difficult decision. Top tier for me, I've got to say the Walker's roast chicken crisps or the Sensations roast chicken and thyme. They're elite. Or actually top tier. M&S beef and onion, top tier.
Oh, M&S, yeah.
M&S beef and onion.
Interesting. Apparently, it's Jordan Pickford's birthday today. Happy birthday, Jordan! You're getting mugged by Spurs. Reece, you got a favourite sweet snack?
Pretty much chocolate or anything sweetish, but anything that has nuts or caramel or a nugget in it can bolt. And crisps can disappear as well. Hate them.
That is disgusting. Get
What
that
are
off
they?
my screen.
Oh my! Oh no!
That is
Look at that.
disgusting.
Being serious, cheese and onion chocolate flavor. I'm not even taking a piss. It's actually a thing.
That's an insult to life itself.
That is an insult to chocolate bars. That's it. George, you got a favourite snack or chocolate bar?
A bit like you, Doug. I sort of I used to eat sweets quite a lot, but don't really tend to now. I'd probably say the one I usually have now is Quavers. But back in the day, I used to have obviously Maltesers. They were absolutely delicious. Twix, Kit Kat, Dairy Milk, Milky Bar buttons as well. They were absolutely lovely as well.
George, honestly,
If you're blonde, you'd be the Milky Bar kid.
George, you generally just make me feel like you're that type of guy who just has a cup of tea and a scone. You just give me that vibe that you're that type of guy who has a plain scone and a wee cup of tea. You just give me that vibe. I don't know why. You just seem like that type of guy. Not that that's a bad thing. It just gives me that general vibe that you know.
That's very, very funny. Yeah. I am actually going to ask you for Champions League predictions. So I'm going to give you go for the games one by one, and we can all predict. We can predict the games. So Josh, Bayern Munich, RB Salzburg. Salzburg are and Bayern are 1-1 from the first leg. Any chance of a wee shock, or will Bayern go through?
1-0 Salzburg. I think Bayern Munich are going to slip up. I'm not impressed with what I'm seeing at Bayern Munich at the moment. I really don't like this whole back three kind of. I think Nagelsmann's trying to force something onto Bayern Munich that just physically cannot be played. And in the Champions League, if you do one little thing wrong, no matter against who you're playing, it can come up and cost you. So I actually think Salzburg is
Normal
going to
Swansea,
win.
Andrew. Dream away, pal.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very close game. I think Salzburg will score first, but I think Bayern Munich will just scrape this one 2-1. Nathan?
Pass a minute. I need to think about this one.
Well, Josh thinks that Bayern are going out. That will be music to Reese's ears. What do you think?
I'm going. So it finished 1-1 the first leg. I'm going 1-1. Bayern win on penalties.
Oh, George?
I'm going to say 3-1.
Bayern aren't good. Bayern aren't good enough to score more goals, I think.
I reckon 1-0 sneaking at the end then. 1-0 Bayern.
Interesting. Liverpool 2-0 up against Inter Milan from the first leg. Inter Milan looking to score 2 or 3 goals. I don't see it. I think if we get an early goal, the floodgates could open. I'm going to go 2-0 to Liverpool. Josh?
Inter Milan will be focused on the league.
Interesting. That was very quick.
They're not
Nathan?
going to win it anyway.
1-1.
1-1. Reece?
Yeah, 1-1.
I'm going Inter Milan to score first. Then Liverpool put 3 past them. Then Inter Milan 90th minute. I'm going 3-2 Liverpool.
Jeez, I don't know if I could go through that. George?
I agree with you, Doug. I think it's 2-0 Liverpool.
2-0 Liverpool. Is there any point in doing this one?
Yes.
Man City Sporting 4-0 Man City. Josh?
3-0 Man City.
Reece?
Well, yous all went high scoring in their Peterborough game, and I was the closest.
Yeah, you were.
So I'm going 1-0 Man City at the Etihad.
Oh my God, it's 3-0 Spurs.
Harry Kane.
Harry Kane.
I'm shocked on that one. I thought you would have said someone talented like Son.
George, do I have to come to you for Man City Sporting?
I think 2-0 for Man City. Yeah, I think Reece was correct. In terms of the FA Cup. I think when they're playing someone they just really don't care anymore about, they tend to.
It's just job done.
It was a bit like against us, really. They didn't really care that much in the second half. So yeah, I think probably 2-0.
I think they'll show them respect. I think they will.
I think this is the biggest game of the lot. Real Madrid, PSG. If Real Madrid play like anything like they did against PSG in Paris, they ain't getting anything. I'm gonna go for a 1-1 draw. PSG to go through 2-1 on aggregate. Josh.
Carlo Ancelotti got his sellout completely wrong in Paris. They were too negative. He decided to play a half-fit Karim Benzema, and they've basically had no outlet to try and counter-attack. But then again, you look at PSG, they may be walking away with the league as they always do. Not really playing that well, and Pochettino is struggling. So it's whatever team decides to turn up on the day. I actually think PSG will not win this game. I think Carlo Ancelotti has the European experience and know how to get around a game like this. And I think Pochettino is one foot outside the door of PSG. I don't think he's very interested, nor is Mbappe or any of that French team. I think Real Madrid will win on the big stage. Their record at the Bernabeu this season in La Liga is absolutely fantastic. I think they are going to win 2-0.
Nathan?
I'm going 1-1, with obviously PSG going through on aggregate.
1-1, same as me. Reece?
I'm going for PSG to get absolutely battered. I'm going 3-0 Real Madrid.
Oh, wow. George?
It's difficult because I think obviously Mbappe is an injury doubt. Obviously didn't play against Nice. They got beaten at the weekend.
Yep.
And he's major for them because obviously Josh was talking about how Ancelotti didn't necessarily get his tactics right, but actually I think all in all they were obviously a few seconds almost from actually getting the result they kind of wanted right from the start. Obviously with their cautious and pragmatic approach, but obviously a bit of Mbappe magic managed to seal that first leg. I think this one's going to be tight again, but PSG are notorious bottlers, so I will go 3-1 Real Madrid, which means Real Madrid go through 3-2 on aggregate.
Andrew's also in the same scoreline as you.
He has. He has. Will we leave the next week's games to next week?
Aye.
Yeah,
may as well.
I think so as well. Before we do,
the game I want to cover isn't even on. That's Ajax versus Benfica.
Yeah, that is very, very true. So we'll go through your comments before we do go. My Champions League predictions in this card, if we're never playing it.
No,
this smells of an upset, doesn't it? What Bayern Salzburg? Yeah, I think it does.
There's a chance. There's a chance.
Inter were brilliant first leg. If they come off that level, they get battered. Yeah, I agree. City 1-1, it's a friendly. Yeah. Real Madrid 3, PSG 1. PSG bottle jobs. Mbappe is injured, I believe, so no chance for PSG.
And what's Neymar done in big games against Real Madrid lately? Nothing.
True. That is very true. PSG, there's something rotten in that team. Yeah, they are. Hate like PSG. Us. Yeah, I hate PSG as well.
PSG are like us, except PSG winning trophies. Their team, like ours, is rotten. Like there's so much in their squad that's so bad, just like us.
I agree. I absolutely agree. Guys, we're going to leave it there. Thank you very much to everyone who's watched in the comments tonight. Some very, very good comments as always. Josh, thank you very much. Have you got anything coming up this week?
Yes, I'm going to a Glenavon game tomorrow. Obviously, very quickly. So we have Glenavon tomorrow night, going away to Larne. Glenavon still a lot to play for. The weekend off there because of the cup, so we'll be fresh. We haven't actually bet Larne since 1996, so maybe a bit of history breaking tomorrow. Saturday, I'm going to another Glenavon game. I'm having a night's workout, and then on Sunday, I'm going to the League Cup final over here. I'm going to the League Cup final over here as a neutral. Expected to be, I think, a 8,500 crowd. So I'm going with my friend as a neutral. So I've got a really good week coming up, especially the weekend. So I can't wait. It's a pleasure being here, Doug. Pleasure seeing you guys all again. And hope you all enjoy the rest of your week.
Absolutely. Nathan, what have you got coming up in your channel this week?
Cardiff, thanks for having me on as usual, Doug. Cardiff City games coming thick and fast. We've actually got 2 Wales games if they go ahead. 2 Cardiff City games, then 2 Wales games at home if they go ahead coming up. And then the all-important game that we absolutely losing is not an option in the South Wales derby, but Preston this weekend, and then Stoke next Wednesday, and obviously the Wales games. Reece, there will literally be a riot if.
Sorry, bro.
Trust me.
Sorry, bro. I think Swansea will beat you 2-1.
Oh, well, all I'll say is it's going to get pretty ugly if that happens. You're talking pitch invasions and a riot. So
you mean you're ranting? That's it.
No.
Oh my gosh.
It'll be a repeat of
is
the
it 4-0? Is it 4-0?
No, it's not. In the last 1 year and 364 days, Michael Keane has scored twice as many Premier League goals for Tottenham as Dele Alli has.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Hey, Charlie. Brilliant troll that is.
Hello, Charlie. Thank you for coming in. Reece, have you got anything planned this week?
But to get my dinner, then FIFA stream if you want to join. Same to you lads if you want to join as well. So that'll be that FIFA stream. I'd say about 9:15 till about back at 10. I know you're on Doug's channel, Rich's channel, and then weekly armchair on Thursday for that for the for my wrestling podcast, and mostly going to be doing FIFA streams all week actually because I'm bumping up subscribers because of that, which is quite funny. So. Yeah,
you're doing very, very well. You're doing very, very well as well. George, thank you as always.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. Obviously, for my week, I've got planned to sitting in the pitch black, softly saying "Hello, darkness, my old friend." after another terrible Manchester United result. But yeah, always a pleasure. And again, just to reiterate, thank you to all the viewers. And remember to like, share, and subscribe as always.
Absolutely. Interesting. Who's Reece's favourite Star Wars character and Batman villain?
Darth Vader and Darth Revan. Favourite villains is Joker and Riddler. Outside mention is, of course, Bane and Penguin. There you go.
Interesting. Great stream. Thank you, Rich. I'll see you at 10, mate. P.S. I take back my PSG comment as I'm in the home end Sunday. Ooh, who are they playing on Sunday?
Bordeaux.
Ooh.
And Bordeaux.
Hello, Charlie. Thank you, Hella. Thank you. Appreciate that. Hey, Charlie. And this guy earlier in the stream said this: the Patterson is a riot, causing players a criticism. As I said, it don't take much.
He's got you on toast, mate.
Brilliant stream. Douglas, Josh, Nathan, Reece, and George. Always enjoy the podcast. Thank you very much. Yeah, we'll be back next week where obviously Josh will be taking hosting duties as well. Enjoy the football.
I will be in my house.
Yeah, enjoy the football. Should be a fantastic week as well. Enjoy the Champions League, and we shall see you very, very soon. Take care. Bye bye for now.